Yo, yeah, my name is Brandon Basil. You should know that if you're looking at this page on YouTube. I write a lot of poetry and all kinds of things and stuff. Yeah. So, well, I be digging around on YouTube and I see a lot of channels out there where it's like males and females trying to give tips to women. I mean, tips to men about how to pick up women. And yeah, I watch some of it. Yeah, sure. Who doesn't? I mean, hey, fucking learn. But I see a lot of that stuff, and I mean, honestly, with a lot of stuff nowadays, it seems like a lot of women don't like men talking and approaching them. So I don't know. I figured maybe maybe this will be a continuing thing. Could give some tips to women on how to talk to men because women seem to not be able to keep a good man and things like that. So maybe I could give some tips on how women could keep men more interested in kind of following along with wherever they're going. Um, well, a friend of mine, she posted something on Facebook. She was asking about the proper way to. She said how she usually flirts with the guy is she drops knowledge. She said drops knowledge. It was one step she mentioned first. I'm gonna try to bring it up in a moment. The one step she mentioned first, she said she would drop knowledge. Pardon me. This is my first video trying to do this, so I mean, I'm kind of just winging this. But I give good points. I'm educated. I'm not stupid, so I can give you sound advice on things. Back in the day, all my female friends, always love my advice, and so I mean, like I keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you and everything. Okay, so Shorty said my version of flirting is to exert a whole lot of power, drop some crazy knowledge, and then remind you that I got options. Am I doing it right? My first thought was like, oh, well, I don't think reminding that you have options is necessary. I mean, everybody likes to think they have options, whether we do or if we don't. So saying, I mean, insinuating, however you put it, that you have options is ineffective. I mean, it's a step that, I mean, nobody really cares. I mean, it's like, I got options, you got options, so what? What would be more effective is showing this person why they should talk to you instead of the other options. What you gonna give me that my other options ain't got? Because 9 times out of 10, especially how people be doing nowadays, they got options that they already have invested interest in. So how are you gonna make me uninvest? Stop investing in this person. Take invested time and interest that I've already have in this person and put it into you. So like you is stocks and bonds. How you going to get me to invest in you over somebody else? It's all about money and time. Time is money and energy. All of this. I mean, so it's like how you going to get me to invest more time into you as opposed to where else? And I was telling her, build something, instead of talking about, insinuating and showing that you have options, show a connection, and work on building a connection with this person over common interests, and build that, create that connection and build that connection in that moment, even because so then that person will have something. So it's like you're giving them something that they can actually think about, that they actually enjoy and everything, and it'll be something that they could come back to. They will think about this while they're away. If the conversation has to come to to an end at that moment, they'll think about this while you're away, and then bring it back. And they'll think of it's like just thinking about you while they're away from you. I mean, everybody wants that. Everybody wants that. Somebody to think about them while they're away from them. So that'll be a more effective working on building that connection over a common interest. I mean, especially something that the man is interested in. Because, okay, how women, they say women work off emotion and men work off logic. So, as I'm saying, if you give this man a reason why his use of time will be better spent with you than somebody else, 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be, they're gonna come back towards you if they need it. When I'm starting thinking about video games, when I'm starting thinking about sports or something like that, it's like you're making that connection with that person, so that we, even when they're away from me, if I'm watching sports, I don't even watch sports myself, but if a man is watching sports, he'd be thinking about, oh yeah, Blase Blase made a point about this but before. I need to see what she's doing. I mean, it may not always lead to something romantic, but it'll be a good point. It'd be a good connection of friendship, which, I mean, friendship will lead, to something more. But you want to have the person thinking about you. Other tips, I guess, there's some things that's been on my mind, honestly. Um, you can't, if you want a person to be attracted to you, and I feel like, I feel like this works for males and females. You can't like, you can't come up saying, I'm unattractive, I'm whack, I'm boring, I'm blah blah blah. It's like, even if the guy is attracted to you and, like, thinks you're so fine and everything like that, when you talk about yourself negatively like that, it stops the conversation from moving forward. It stops that connection from moving forward, because, like, I don't want to be with somebody who's boring. I can't, in my mind, make sense of why I would want to spend time with somebody that's boring. I mean, especially even if she's pretty, then just going to turn into, well, let's just fuck then. I mean, like, it's just like, it will make the person only see you on that physical level, and it would stop the emotional and real chemistry from building if you think that you're, I mean, boring. You think you're unattractive, even stuff like that. Well, then I'm about to start looking at all the unattractive things that I see with you. I mean, and it just, you gotta. I mean, as sweeten the pot, why would I want to spend time with you over somebody else? Why should I? What can you give me mentally, spiritually, even conversationally? What can you give me that I'm not getting from somebody else? But I mean, when you saying stuff like that, it stops the conversation from moving forward. I mean, yeah. And I've noted one thing I've noticed. I mean, a lot of women complain about guys not doing this or not doing that, but especially in conversation, like, I was seeing shorties be like, "Man, why he talking about this, that, the third. He keeps saying sorry. He keeps saying sorry to me, and he keep apologizing for things that he said." I mean, no, in general, people should be unapologetic, but sometimes y'all women don't be giving us men enough leeway, enough guidance in what it is that you want. Because, I mean, most times a man, we'll push, and everything. We'll push and we'll lead. A man will lead. Most women want a man to lead, but if I'm trying to lead you and you keep stopping, and it's like, okay, well, where you trying to go? Where you trying to take the conversation to? And if you don't give that man, some kind of a point to where to take the conversation to, then eventually, man, will feel, somewhat defeated. Not defeated as in I lost, but I'm going this way. She said no. I'm going this way. She said no. Going this way. She said no. So I throw my hands up, and then 9 times out of 10, dude gonna stop texting. It's this, that, the third. I mean, a good man, us good brothers, we can talk. We can talk, but we like a woman that'll talk back with us. Um, I mean, not necessarily, especially about, like, I mean, talk about what. Not. I'm not even, and most times I'm not even saying that the woman has to come with, like, go research what the man is into, what guys are typically interested in. Like, I'm not saying that a woman has to do that, but man, is talking about something. Take the points that he make, reflect it back to yourself and your situations, and put it back. I mean, you're putting two things in a pot. You're putting his intellect, your intellect, blending it around and coming out with something new. That's how conversations work. You get that new point and then you do it all over again. A, B, C, all over. I mean, that's how it works. And a lot of people seem like they don't know how conversations work, how conversations are supposed to work. They just let a man just talk. And then, maybe this is what I've experienced, but let a man just talk, let a person just talk, and then not giving any feedback, and the person doesn't know which way to take it. And it's just like, well, you know, I've yeah, and then women act like he has something wrong with him. I mean, I'm thinking about honestly on 100. It is some chick I was talking to. I called on at night, nine something, 10, whatever time it was. It was raining out, so it wasn't even nothing much to do or whatnot. Perfect prime time talking time. Feel me? We talking and everything. And shorty, I was talking. I mean, honestly, I was talking about what happened in my day, where I just came from, usual stuff. About 30 minutes, you know, waiting, expecting her to talk back. She was listening all along, expecting her to take control, tell me about her day. She was still like she didn't want to talk, like she was enjoying listening. So I'm like, all right, word. Conversation kept going. Somehow I ended up talking about exes, ex girlfriends, and whatnot. And then, I mean, I was talking for a minute. Now, how I was framing the conversation, I was framing it in a way I was talking about what happened, what I liked about this ex, and what I didn't like about this ex, as I was phrasing it in a means to show her things that I liked and didn't like, so that she could know these things for the future. Show me more of things that are within you that I like, and do less things that I don't like. How the conversation went, I was talking about all these things. I'm telling you, I was talking about 2 hours, honestly. Like, 'cause I'm just trying to get it all out. Man, we don't like talking about that stuff. Nobody really likes talking about that stuff with the significant other and everything like that. And it comes a point when you talking with somebody, you got to get that stuff out, so everybody knows where we've been. So I'm talking about it, trying to get it out, so I ain't got to talk about it again later. Later on, after I finish, I done been to college. So I was like, I mean, I was opening up, you feel me? Like going from high school through college years through and up to this point now, honestly. And it got to the point where she was like, I don't think we could like really be in a relationship, whatnot, because you got scars. I'm like, I ain't got scars. I was just talking and having a conversation. You was laughing and joking and carrying on like it was all gravy or whatnot. But then it's like Shorty set me up to set myself up. So she had something to cut me off for. And I mean, in all, that wasn't the one per se. But the point I'm making is she didn't lead the conversation, so I thought what I was doing was right. It's like if you're gonna let a man lead, they're like, okay, she's giving me the will to lead. She's giving me the guidance to carry this as I see fit. And then if you don't like how the man is leading, you got to let him know somewhere along the lines so that then we could turn it into something else. You're going to trust the man's judgment, then let trust him to lead, but also give him feedback so he don't lead you down the dark alley where you're about to get robbed at or something like that. I mean, you feel me? um but you know and then and when how that conversation went afterwards, I was like, well, I could have been talked about something else. I got plenty of things to talk about. What subject you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And but it is what it is. But like, yeah, sometimes women be complaining about dudes not being this or not being that or not being enough of this, enough of that. But then sometimes they don't have this and that themselves, and then they don't know what they want so that they can lead a man into the proper places. Because I mean, a lot of us brothers, we not stupid. I mean, a lot of black males, we college educated and everything like that. We know a lot of stuff, and if we really like a girl, we'll find out. Men will go research. We will go research. I mean, good men. I don't speak for all of us. Some of them stupid as hell, but when we interested in that badass girl over there, we will find out what we need to find out. But if you don't know what you like, then how the fuck I'm gonna give it to you? Anyways, later.